Hi, this is Shad with LoveToCode.com. Welcome back to another tutorial on Java JDBC. In this video, we will learn how to use database metadata. For this tutorial, we will use the following table, employees. The table also has sample data for testing. I have a SQL script that will create the table and add sample data for you. You can download it from the link below. Database metadata can give you information about your database. To get started with database metadata, you must first retrieve it from the connection object. This is accomplished by calling mycon.getMetadata. Then we can call some methods on the object, such as getProductName and version, getJDBC driver information, and so on. There are a lot of methods available. You can go online and you can Google JDBC metadata. There you'll find the actual Java doc for this class, and you'll see all the methods that are available for it. Let's switch over to Eclipse and see this in action. I have a very simple program called Metadata Basic Info. Let's walk through the code. The first thing we'll do in this application is we will get a connection to the database. Then using this database connection, I can get the metadata. It returns a special database metadata object. Now with this object, I can retrieve information about the database. I can get the actual database product name. I can also get the product version. And then from there, I can move forward and get information about the JDBC driver. So I can get the driver's name and also the driver version. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this application. Once we run it, we see the output. So it shows us the product name and the actual version, the actual JDBC driver name, MySQL connector, and also the JDBC driver version that we're using. This is very good information that we retrieved by accessing the database metadata. We can also get information about the database schema. For example, we can get a list of all tables and also get a list of column names for each table, along with their types. All right, so let's switch over to Eclipse and let's see this in action. I have a very simple program called Schema Info, and let's walk through the code. So in this main method, I have some variables set up for catalog and all the various patterns. When you make calls to some of these database metadata methods, you can actually pass in patterns, but right now just keep it null just to keep it simple. So let's step through the code. The first thing we do is we get a connection to a database and we get the metadata. We've seen all this before. Then I'd like to get a list of tables. So I say database metadata, get tables, and I pass in those various patterns. So this will give me a list of all of the tables for this demo schema. It's going to return it as a result set. So this works like a normal result set. I can just loop through this result set and I can retrieve each table name and print it out. So this will give me a list of all the tables for this given schema. So I'd like to do a similar thing for columns. So I'd like to get a list of all the columns for a given table. In this example, I want to get all of the columns for the employees table. So I pass in employees here, and I pass in the other patterns and so on. They're all set to null. But here I want to get the employees table. It's going to return a list of columns for this employees table as a result set. And just like before, I can just walk through this result set, and I can print out each column name. They also have methods for getting the column types and so on. But this is enough to get us started for now. And now we can see the output of the application. The first thing at the top, we get a list of tables. And so in this example, we only have one table, and that's employees. And then we can also get a list of columns for this employees table. And we have these 6 columns here: ID, last name, first name, email, department, and salary. One thing that I'll do here is I'll actually switch over to the MySQL tool and just verify some of the information we saw from the previous program. I'll expand this item here for demo. That's the one database schema that we're connected to. I'll also expand tables. We'll see that there's only one table and it's called employees. That checks out okay. And then I'll open up the employees table and then I'll take a look at the columns. And I see here that we have 6 columns, same information that we had from our Java program. So we're in good shape. Well, that wraps up our discussion on database metadata with JDBC. We were successful in retrieving information about the database connection and also database schema.